Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, after months of dodging the question and refusing to actually commit to signing on to the debate, or rather debates, the Biden team has finally made a decision, and I think in a way their hand was forced here, especially as Joe Biden was tanking in the polls. It's official, Joe Biden signs on to 2 presidential debates, mano a mano. There's a lot to talk about relative to this story, so of course, as usual, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so like I said in the intro, after months of dodging the question, Joe Biden finally signs on. He released this message on Twitter.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
You know, this is another one of those situations where the only appropriate response here comes in the meme format. Play the appropriate meme.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
Oh, shiver me timbers. How scary. Listen, Jack, listen, corn pop pal. I beat you before and I'll beat you again. Did Joe Biden ever truly beat Donald Trump in a one-on-one debate? Of course he didn't. Back then, of course, the deck was obviously stacked in his favor. Donald Trump back then, of course, was dealing with a deep state onslaught, just as he is currently. I mean, that alone is enough to have a pretty major impact. Then, of course, as we know, the actual debates themselves aren't going to be a one-on-one. You know, earlier I said mano a mano, but let's be real here. It's going to be debate moderators plus Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Not to mention, just like with Hillary Clinton in 2016, it's very likely that the Biden team is getting the debate questions or the debate topics ahead of time, so sleepy, creepy, piss pants Joe can prepare.
Analyst Donna Brazile admitting that she, in fact, did send town hall debate topics to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign while she worked for CNN. That happened a year ago. She's now saying she will, quote, forever regret it in a column in Time magazine. It took more than a year for Donna Brazile to admit this.
No, but ignore all of that. Joe Biden beat Donald Trump before, back in 2020. He outskilled and outmaneuvered him. Give me a break. We already know exactly what's going on. CNN Communications just released on Twitter that they'll host a 2024 presidential debate between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump in Atlanta, Georgia, and the moderators have already been announced. It's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. So I guess here we go again. Donald Trump is gearing up once again for a 3v1. 3 Democrat coneheads versus 1 based patriot. Yeah, a real debate, a real fair and square debate, with this freaking clown as the moderator.
Serious national security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the FBI.
Yeah, whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding before us. And again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Let's go over again the 37 charges that Donald Trump is facing right now. We don't have to go into each one.
Sure.
But Ellie, if you could basically detail what are the allegations here? We have counts 1 to 31. Those have to do with specific...
A clear anti-Trump stooge. I think there's 3 reasons why the Biden team finally decided to sign on to this debate. Firstly, I think Biden's handlers were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, considering Joe announced that he'd be willing to debate on the Howard Stern show. Secondly, I'd say, well, polling numbers. Joe Biden continues to tank precipitously. Economic reports keep dropping and they're horrible one after another. From consumer sentiment to inflation to jobs, the list goes on. And so what better way to distract the public than with an announcement that this guy...
They want to undo what they finally got done. And then what we finally got done to make up for it. They want to give power back to Big Pharma.
Is going to be participating in the debates. And then, of course, the third element, they have an in on the whole process. Obviously. Like I just mentioned, Joe Biden's going to get all the topics before heading in. He's going to know what questions are going to be asked of him. He's going to have all kinds of time to rehearse. They're going to pump all kinds of cocktails into his bloodstream to counteract his dementia the best way they can. And we're already seeing proof of that, as it's been announced that not only is the CNN debate going to be hosted by 2 anti-Trump goons, but also there's going to be no live audience. And of course, leftoids are celebrating this. The live audience ruins the whole debate. Yeah, I'm sure it does when your candidate is the one getting clowned, just like back in 2016 with Hillary Clinton.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Donald Trump has a tendency of getting the crowd on his side. We also saw this relatively recently with Caitlin Collins' infamous CNN town hall with President Trump from not too long ago.
Back to what happened on that day.
He
You said
did
you
not
weren't.
say that.
He has testified that, Mr.
He did
President.
not say that.
But you said you weren't very involved that day. You did tell your supporters to come to Washington. You tweeted about it, about
True,
that
of
speech
course.
that happened on the rally.
Am I allowed to say that?
When they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers, why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out.
Answer.
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you...
And so obviously they want to avoid that exact situation from ever happening again. Trump playing the crowd, Trump winning people over, and so they're trying as desperately as they can to coordinate with the Biden team and control as many factors as they possibly can to attempt to rig this in Piss Pants Joe's favor. They want Joe Biden to be able to say anything and get away with it. Inflation was at 9% when he took office. I'm sure there's not going to be too much of a challenge to that claim, just like there was no challenges to Joe Biden's ridiculous claims relating to his son Hunter Biden and of course the infamous laptop scandal from back in October of 2020, where Joe Biden claimed that it was a Russian disinformation plot and that his son never took money from China. It's all so weird and obviously corrupt and obviously orchestrated and controlled. Actually, funnily enough, saying that, now as I think about it, even Joe Biden's 2-debate announcement basically fit that description perfectly. Let's play that clip again and see if you notice it.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
First question, how long was that video? The answer is 14 seconds. Did you notice how many cuts there were? How many takes did it take Joe Biden to read off of a teleprompter for 14 seconds to be able to release that video? You would think that he'd be able to do it in one shot, right? I already beat the guy twice, and I'll do it again. I hear you're free on Wednesdays, Donald. He spoke, what, a sentence or two? Yet they had to have a full freaking film crew, writing staff, and editor team to release a 14-second video announcement that he's participating in 2 debates. That's the guy who supposedly beat Donald Trump twice in both debates in 2020. Give me a friggin' break. Donald Trump is going to mop the floor with this clown, despite all the Democrat copium, and trust me when I tell you there's a whole lot of it. You know, videos like this.
President Biden set a trap for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump fell right into it. If you missed it, we have presidential debates scheduled. The first is June 27th, and the second is September 10th. And because President Biden was able to outsmart Donald Trump throughout the whole negotiation, the debates are going to be held under the terms that President Biden wants. Win or lose, Donald Trump is going to be focused on that trial instead of the issues that are being discussed during the debate. He has just been outsmarted by President Biden, and I'm here for it.
Donald Trump won't be able to compete with Joe Biden in the debate, especially not coming off the heels. His head's gonna be scattered, especially since the debate is scheduled for right after the Alvin Bragg case wraps up. Give me a break. I think the reality is a little bit different, actually, as Julie Kelly points out. She writes on Twitter, if this happens, it will take place the day after 3 days of court hearings in Florida, where Trump's lawyers will present evidence of Biden's White House colluding with NARA and the DOJ to manufacture the documents case. Perfect timing, as if the Trump indictments and Trump hearings are going to give Joe Biden a strategic advantage during the debates. If anything, Donald Trump's going to have a whole lot to work with, as stories of Biden's collusion and weaponization of the justice system are still going to be fresh in the news cycle. They're going to try so hard to stack the deck in Joe Biden's favor, but I don't know if it's going to work out as they think it is. I think the Trump team is ready, and clearly Joe Biden, who can't even record 14 seconds of audio and video, well, I don't think you could say the same for him. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.